Thank you, Madam Speaker. When speaking about this legislation, Madam Speaker, I must firstly point out a very constraining entity within our system of education. It is the cult of the average. The cult of the average is distinguishable in the most basic of ways as a similar sense of thinking, a similar sense of how one carries oneself, a similar sense of acting relative to others within that cult. To put it into a simple context, in my school days, if you weren't wearing a Hollister or Abercrombie hoodie, then you were outside of the cult of the average. I adhered to this cult, Madam Speaker, in my high school days, and I must say, and no matter how embarrassing that might be to admit right now, there is one very specific trait about this cult which pertains to this legislation. This cult always lashes out at those policies that don't fall within the cult of the average. Those deemed either below or above or anywhere outside of average. The cult is insecure and has only security when others are within the cult and when others abide by the rules and conformity of the cult. It prefers all to be stagnantly the same, and in the education world prefers mass mediocrity. Legislation such as this diminishes the control of the cult of the average in our system of education, and that is why it lashes out so harshly against it. Legislation such as this allows us to realize that it will be okay if we don't conform to the consistent yet silly ways that a bucket of crabs exemplifies as they pull one another down when one attempts to leave the bucket. And by no means, Madam Speaker, am I calling anyone a crab, but I am saying that some are using their grapply claws to hold our kids back by limiting their reach to other opportunities that their crustacean-y minds may not fully understand. And that, although it is scary to step outside of the cult of the average, education savings accounts are a fantastic chance for us to do so.
Representative, while I'm entertained, you may want to speak a little more narrow focus to the merits of the bills. Speaker recognizes Representative Paquette.
A perfect segue. Education savings accounts are a fantastic chance for us to bust outside of the cult of the average and to realize, Madam Speaker, that if we take off our Hollister hoodies at times, that it will be okay. And I encourage a yes vote on both of these bills. Thank you, Madam Speaker.